Our goal is to seek justice for Elijah McClain, for his family and friends, and for our state. In so doing, we advance the rule of law and the commitment that everyone is accountable and equal under the law.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. Jordan Chavez and Chris Bianchi with you with some major developing news.
Now, 5 people have been indicted by a grand jury in the death of Elijah McClain. He died in 2019 after being injected with ketamine. He was stopped by Aurora Police while walking home from the store. Yeah, there are 32 counts in total. 3 police officers and 2 paramedics are facing manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide charges. They are current Aurora police officers Randy Rodema and Nathan Woodyer, former Aurora officer Jason Rosenblatt, Aurora Fire Rescue paramedics Lieutenant Peter Chakuniak, and Jeremy Cooper. Now, the paramedics are also facing additional charges of assault as well as criminal violence. And Elijah's mother, Shanine McClain, spoke with our Alex Lewis earlier this month about the investigation.
So a grand jury is considering charges against these officers. My question for you is, what do you hope comes out of it and what do you expect? You know, I imagine those might be 2 different things.
I would love life in prison for all of them, but I expect them to be lenient.
9 News investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn has been following this case for the last 2 years now. And Kevin, how rare is it to get a charge here against police officers and paramedics in this case?
It used to be extremely rare. There was a case in Morgan County in the 1980s, one in Denver in the 1990s, where police officers were charged in fatal shootings and then acquitted by juries. But more recently, it's been happening more often. Just last week in Boulder County, 2 sheriff's deputies were convicted of manslaughter in the death of a man in a transport van. And of course, we've been covering this case in Loveland, where 2 officers are facing charges after the arrest of a woman in her 70s with dementia on a shoplifting charge. She suffered injuries. So it's happening more now than it has in the past, for sure.
Yeah, and so Kevin, talking about this specific case, where does the process even go from here?
Well, it now is going to move into the criminal justice system. These 5 people that have been charged will be arrested, they will be photographed, they will be booked, they will have to post bail, they'll be released, and it will start to work its way through the criminal justice system. If it gets to a trial, that's likely to be at least many months in the future, possibly years in the future. The courts are very backed up because of the pandemic. Lots of cases got delayed, and cases like this, they're complicated and involve multiple defendants, often take a long time.
Kevin, these charges came out of a grand jury investigation. How rare is it to use a grand jury in this type of case?
Well, grand juries offer prosecutors powers they don't have normally. They can compel witnesses to testify, they can grant witnesses immunity and they lose their 5th Amendment right, and they also can compel the production of documents. And that's something the Attorney General talked about today in making this announcement, that they used the grand jury to get documents they couldn't otherwise get. It's not terribly unusual, but it does happen.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. And of course, this is only certainly a fraction of the story. We're going to have a lot more coverage over on our website, 9news.com, as well as more coverage coming up on 9 News at 4 and 5. So stick around for that as well.